I just watched a video by an American YouTuber the other day where he discussed and explained the 4 different countries, the most popular 4 different countries in Southeast Asia, the Philippines, Thailand, Cambodia and Vietnam. Apparently the most popular countries for expats and what not really bothered me, but what again surprised me is that there was no word mentioned about Indonesia. Not a single thought dedicated or word mentioned. I find that strange. So I'm doing this video today again to discuss this matter, because I have received another comment by a viewer the other day who again, like so many others, not like many others, but some others say, you have to be careful with Indonesia. 80%, 90% of them are Muslims, and it's so strict over there, and when you marry these women you have to convert, and it's a lot of hassle and a lot of trouble, and it's a Muslim country anyway, and don't bother. So this is the perception and the mindset by still many Western guys, probably even American guys, I don't know. No idea. And I'm doing this video to tell you once and forever that Indonesia is a very diverse nation, with various traditional beliefs and practices. Some of these practices are not officially recognized by the Indonesian government, but for example some indigenous faith. And I want to also thank one of my other viewers who just recently wrote a very long comment where he actually made things, explained things very well. And after reading this comment, people actually should wake up a little bit more, or at least have some more in-depth knowledge about Indonesia and what's really going on here. And that it is not really a country you have to be afraid of or to avoid. Okay, this viewer is I believe an Indonesian guy, so he knows his stuff, and I know his comments. From time to time he comments, and his comments, they have substance. So I want to elaborate on this, what he wrote in his comment the other day. So and it's quite busy here already, a little bit here on Seminyak Beach, walking down to Legian Beach, and back to Bali for the time being. So 80-90% Muslims in Indonesia. Is this really true? This viewer says that maybe it's only 60% altogether, because, and he is right, Indonesians have to register their religion on their ID card. This is the way to go here. And there are officially 6 recognized religions in Indonesia, officially recognized. This is Protestantism, Catholicism, Muslim or Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism and Confucianism. And then maybe some people argue whether or not some indigenous faiths are recognized or not, but as far as I know, there are 6 officially recognized religions in Indonesia. So, but there are some atheists also, and agnostics and other people. So what about them? They cannot put their religion there on the ID card. They basically have to choose among these 6 religions and then put it on their ID card. You can already imagine that most of the people who then need to choose their religion maybe probably pick Islam or Muslim faith because they think it's maybe more convenient, since Indonesia is officially actually a Muslim country, or the majority of the inhabitants are Muslim. So you know what, I don't care, I pick just Islam, and then it's maybe also easier for me later when it comes to, I don't know, education, university, finding a job, whatever, maybe this is the rationale behind it, so in reality the ratio of Muslims in Indonesia is probably really lower than what you can read in Wikipedia, and that's why you also find, when you are in Indonesia and travel around and open your eyes and then observe, and dive into the culture and mingle with the people, you will find that some Muslims really drink alcohol, they eat pork, the girls are not wearing a hijab. So these guys, girls, men, women, these so-called Muslims, they are not really strict, when it comes to their religion. Back to the girls, to the Muslim girls, because this is the main concern for still many Western guys. Saying, they're all Muslims, and then, you have to convert and all that stuff. And anyway, you have to ask yourself the question, is she really Muslim? No, Muslim is not like Muslim, this is what my viewer pointed out in this comment. Is she really, what kind of Muslim is she? Is she conservative? Is she a conservative Muslim? Is she a liberal Muslim? Or does she have her very own interpretation of the Islamic faith? Again, many girls, many Muslim women in Indonesia, they don't wear a hijab. I know so many of them. They don't wear a hijab for many different reasons. Sometimes I ask these girls, hey, why don't you wear a hijab? And then they tell me, Marcel, I don't feel ready to wear a hijab because it's a great responsibility, or I'm not married yet. I hear different stories. One girl explained to me, I don't wear a hijab because, number one, she said, it's my faith. It's a very, very personal thing. Sorry guys, thank you. It's a very personal thing. It's just between me and Allah, and if I feel not ready to wear the hijab, then I don't wear it. And she also told me, just because she's not wearing a hijab doesn't mean she is a bad Muslim or a worse Muslim. Has nothing to do with that, because her faith is a thing between only her and Allah, and that makes sense, And there are probably other reasons why girls don't wear a hijab. Maybe also, they wanna, because of fashion reasons. They want to appear more like westernized and modern. Maybe they also want to hide the fact that they are Muslims, especially if they want to date Western guys, especially maybe here on Bali, but also the other way around. I hear more and more voices in Indonesia, especially from the younger crowds. They say, many younger Indonesian women today, they actually they wear a hijab in public, but they're just pretending to be a good Muslim, but in reality they don't give a shit about it. So it's apparently also very fashionable these days for women to to wear a hijab, to just pretend on Instagram and this and that, you know. But in reality, they just don't really give a damn about this whole thing. This has also to do with the politics in Indonesia. Like 30, 40 years ago, it was not so religious here. You can talk to elderly women who can confirm this, you know. There was not so many people wore a hijab. But anyway, so is she conservative, liberal, or does she have her own interpretation of Islam? The next thing to ask, what about her family's religious values? Yeah? Does her family want her to marry a Muslim man, or yes or no? And if yes, let's say her family really wants her to marry just only a Muslim man, does she then obey her parents strictly, or is she just going along, you know, and just actually pretend that her husband converted? And yes, he has to convert on paper at least, you know, but then things go back to normal. The husband actually can practice his own faith if he has any, and so just, you know, to calm down the parents, basically, you know. This is another thing. And I know I have Indonesian friends, I wanted to say girlfriends, they're not girlfriends, I mean female friends who are married to American guys, to British guys, to Swiss guys, you know, and no issue. Yeah, this guy, the one friend lives in Batam. She is married for many years already to an American guy, very nice guy. They have a daughter. Yeah, they're married already for many years. The guy is not a Muslim. He does not practice Islam, and his wife, this Indonesian woman, she is not running around even with a hijab. There you go. And this is very common in Indonesia. Yeah? Very common. You know, when I worked in Sumatra many years ago in Medan, my boss was a German. He was also a chef. Yes, and he did talk like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Same like me, even worse, you know. But he was married to an Indonesian woman. His wife was Indonesian. Very pretty woman. The guy actually was not very handsome, I have to say. He was my boss at the time. But his wife was from, I think, from Jakarta. And they were married. And he told me the story. How he had to, he had to convert. So in this case, he had to convert because his wife is a Muslim. So he had to convert, and he did it, but just on the paper. And you know what kind of name he chose for himself? You know, if you convert from Christianity, let's say, to Islam in Indonesia, you have to pick a Muslim name. This is just what he told me. So, and you know, guess what kind of name he picked? His new Muslim name after he converted. Correct. He picked the name Alibaba. Yeah. I had to laugh out loud when he told me this story. So he didn't take this thing really seriously as well, but it had to be done officially. So on the paper he converted, and then job done, finished. And his wife was also not wearing a hijab, you know. Many foreign men, Western men, are married to Indonesian women. And they live like this, you know. These women are very open, they are tolerant and adaptable, and so are their husbands. Yeah? These women are open to the Western lifestyle, to Western values, and I have another friend, she lives here in Bali, in Ubud, married to a British guy. I worked with her for a few years. She was my girlfriend actually for a while, many years ago. And she really enjoys the Western lifestyle because I think her husband is kind of wealthy, you know. He worked for the oil industry, or still is, and they built a small guest house in Ubud and amongst the rice fields. Looks very nice. So when I look at her Instagram pictures, I can really see he enjoys the material life and all the money which comes along being married with this guy, you know. For my taste, it's a little bit too materialistic, and I know her when she was not married to that guy. She was a little waitress in our hotel. Very good waitress, very cute girl, very humble, very cute, very skilled. She was one of our top waitresses. But now she's completely different. She seems like, you know, showing off, grandstanding, showboating. You know the game, right? It's all about status now. She likes to enjoy, to show off her status and her prestige. Yeah, buying all these new clothes and jewelry and traveling around the world and posting all these pictures and hanging out with their female friends and doing the same thing. You know, some Indonesian women, they don't work. They have time the whole day. So these women just meet up for coffee, tea, and doing silly things on Instagram, and they enjoy their time, their free time. They don't really work. So this is also the material benefits, of course. Not all Indonesian women who are married to Western guys become so materialistic, you know. But it can happen. And also, you know, their kids, mixed marriages, mixed kids. The emphasis is given that the kids can choose their religion at the end of the day, or it's not pushed upon them by the parents, you know. So this is the thing here in Indonesia, when you marry an Indonesian woman, so everything is possible. Very relaxed actually. And where can you actually find Christian and Muslim women? This is also a question I sometimes receive. So Indonesia is a big country, 17,000 islands. The most western island is Sumatra. If you are a Christian guy, then you might want to check out Medan and area, Lake Toba. This is where the Batak people live. The Batak people are, some of them are Christians. Yeah? Not all Batak people are Christians, but Sumatra, especially around Medan, is a Christian stronghold. Yeah? Java is mostly Muslim. Then of course we have Bali, which is Hinduism. Kalimantan, you also have Christian tribes there, scattered around the province. It's a big island actually. Then you have Sulawesi, where also in the north we have a lot of Christians living there and scattered around the island. And then Nusa Tenggara, east of Bali, is a Christian stronghold. There are the Catholics who are living there. So if you are a Christian, I don't know, Protestant or Catholic, and it's important for you to marry a Catholic woman and head east to eastern Indonesia. So you see, Indonesia is diverse when it comes to religion. It's not the first time I'm mentioning here this frame of 90% Muslim and strict and old-fashioned and backwards, and this is a fantasy. This is absolutely unrealistic. It has nothing to do with reality. So again, I want you to open yourself up to the idea to put Indonesia on your radar. I mean, people who talk about dating in Southeast Asia, and how good it is and how great it is, and then talking about the Philippines and Thailand and Cambodia, and Vietnam, just to pick the most famous countries. Yeah, it's all good, but I mean, how can you overlook Indonesia? Indonesia is the biggest, the largest country in the area here. How can you overlook it and not even mention it? I don't get it. But good that I do these videos about Indonesia, and more guys who come here, they basically confirm what I always have been saying now for the past almost 2 years in my videos, right? I receive more and more positive feedback, but you have to come here, boots on the ground, forget your indoctrination and the media propaganda, and then maybe work on your ignorance a little bit and come here and see for yourself again. Indonesia is a very diverse nation, not only when it comes to nature and food. Yeah? It has various traditional beliefs and practices which are officially recognized by the Indonesian government. And this is the cornerstone of Indonesian politics also, to celebrate and to emphasize the diversity. Unity and diversity, basically, so to speak. This is a cornerstone of Indonesian culture. Yeah, it's such a diverse country anyway. So how can you live peacefully together anyway if you do not tolerate other religion and beliefs and traditions? And it works very well in Indonesia. Indonesia is not Saudi Arabia or I don't know, Afghanistan or Pakistan. And I have to be careful here what I'm saying, because I've never been to Afghanistan and Pakistan, and maybe my perception is also wrong about these countries. You see how quick this can go? Maybe I'm ignorant about Afghanistan and Pakistan. Maybe. I'm pretty sure I am, because all I've seen about Afghanistan and Pakistan is basically pictures from the media, right? So maybe it's completely the opposite over there, but I don't know. Anyway, you get my point. Yeah. And when I say open yourself up to Indonesia, I'm not talking about Bali necessarily. You have to take Bali out of the equation. Bali is a part of Indonesia, yes, but here it's all a little bit different. You also could exclude Bali from Indonesia. You could make it a single island state and everything would be good. Because I'm talking about the entire Indonesia. All of what I've said doing this video here, I've been saying, applies to the entire Indonesia. Yeah? Diverse, tolerant, open. The women are open to date foreigners and you can marry them. Yeah? And you don't have to be afraid that you have to convert to Muslim and then live the rest of your life in a mosque and do the Ramadan thing. Absolutely nonsense. But let the guys speak who are married to Indonesian women. Please step forward, share your experience, and tell us, tell the audience. No need to tell me, I know. But tell the other guys, the ignorant guys, how it is to be married to an Indonesian woman. Do you feel oppressed? Do you feel handcuffed? How is it? I'm pretty sure your wife is a Muslim or a Christian, maybe a Hinduist. And how is it? Is it so bad? Have you regretted it to marry an Indonesian woman? No, I don't think so. I think it was the best decision of your life, right? Because you also have dated other Southeast Asian women before, and you decided to marry an Indonesian woman. Why is that? Yeah? Interesting. So I'm doing this video not to, let's say, flood now Indonesia with all the Western guys coming here. I don't want to flood the country. I don't want that everybody now is going here, no. But I want to be fair, you know. I want to be fair. And we have to be fair when talking about Indonesia and Southeast Asia. It's not only the Philippines and Thailand and Cambodia and Vietnam. Yeah? It's also Indonesia. I think when you combine all these 4 countries anyway, They don't even match up. Indonesia is still the largest country. How can you overlook it? I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it. And if you are into Filipinas, you should definitely visit Indonesia, because the Indonesian girls, to a great extent, look very similar to the Filipinas. Yeah? So very pretty and beautiful women here. Anyway, long story short, as usually, I'm checking out for the day. Let me know what you think, and write your thoughts and comments in the comment sections. Looking forward to it, and I'm gonna see you in one of my next videos. Take care, bye bye.